For this free flow talk, I am very much in the mood to just sit down and have a conversation. I am currently in a cabin retreat in Oxfordshire where I am just surrounded by nature and just having time for myself to reflect. And so I am planning to record some videos beforehand and then publish them later on in my usual schedule. So the timing of it will not be live, so to speak. It will be pre-recorded. That's the word I was looking for. Just because I am here, there's a lot of things for me to contemplate and a lot of topics and ideas that may be worth recording in the moment and then sharing them when it's right. The first topic that I feel like is very appropriate today, or not even just today, just recently in my life, is the idea of slow living a slow life. Now, I am someone that had been and is growing up with so many different interests and always feeling overwhelmed that there's so much to do and not enough time. And I think society sort of conditions us with this in the sense of competition in the job market, education system, feeling like you have to prove yourself, but also doing so quickly. I'm part of the corporate life as well. So it's that regular 9 to 5. As soon as I get home, chores, settling in, making content, also just me time and things that I might enjoy, hobbies, etc. And we all just living so abruptly that we don't realize that it is a mindset coming from lack. We're believing we don't have enough time because we're so involved with the concept of linear time, when I truly do not believe it to be this way, it to be so, especially as someone that is very much resonating with Taoism and just the concept of the eternal now, that time isn't linear, it's more or less vertical in that sense. And the video that I made a while ago, you only need to breathe to manifest your desires, and maybe in some other videos, I always focus on trying to live in the present moment. And I always refer to Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now and how life-changing that is. But it's nothing new. It has always been there. Not the book, but the concept of present living. And our minds often wander, thinking so much about the past or the future and not really much in the now. And that has been happening to me lately. And I wouldn't say I came up, but I started doing this little technique that has really helped me. And whenever I catch myself dwelling so much into a thought or a reality that I don't actually want to be in, I just ask myself, where am I? And then in the back of my head, there's like a little voice, and it's obviously me, but it just answers, here. Where am I? Here. I am here in the now. And it's just a way that I've been trying to draw myself back into the present moment, because we are prone to distractions. We are prone into that hypnosis, the Maya, the illusions. And this is what I mean in, I think, my previous free flow talk, where I say it's like watering a plant. This isn't something that we can just say, yep, this is us, and then expect the discipline to just flow through. It is something we have to regularly maintain. But initially, it might seem like a lot of work, but then once you build up that foundation, as I've mentioned before, it's minimal effort. It's more or less just a little redirection and self-forgiveness and bringing yourself back in. Now, I'm deviating a little bit because I do want to go back to the concept of living a slow life. I don't know who came up with this term, this phrase, but I love it so much. Find eternity in the present moment. I have noticed the times where I have spent the day not rushing, doing all my responsibilities, doing things that I enjoy and, getting on with my life, but in a way that I'm doing it as if there's not a single rush, worry, or hurry in the world. And I am just flowing. I'm with the flow. And I've noticed when I live that slow life, time is so manipulative to me. I don't know if that is the right word, but I will be getting ready, for example, for work, and let's say it's 7:30 and I should be out the door by 8. And before I would think, I don't have enough time and I need to rush. And suddenly time feels like it's flying by so fast. But when I am actually not even looking at the time and I am doing things that I want to do, that I need to do to get ready, and I am just going with the flow, a little doubt will pop up in my mind and be like, you should check the time. You're about to be late. But then I just sort of shut down that thought and just say to myself, no, I've got enough time. And then when I check the time, it would only be 10 minutes that has passed. But I felt like I did a lot in those 10 minutes, where it felt much longer than 10 minutes. And it's that like warping effect. And you only get to that when you're in the flow state, which is another concept. Flow state is when you're pretty much in the zone. It's what athletes and a lot of professionals utilize, where whilst training or whilst doing something creative, it's almost like a meditative state where you're just so in the zone of what you are doing. You are so present that time is not even a concept in your mind, in your reality, because you're just fully absorbed and living in whatever it is you're doing. And it could be 10 minutes that has passed, but it feels like 30. And it's an odd sensation. It's quite surreal. You can really play with it and explore that feeling, that experience, and see how it works for you. I'm sure there's a lot of videos and literature about the flow state in many different use cases. But for me right now, it's not even that I'm trying to be absorbed into a hobby or into practicing a skill. I am just trying to be absorbed in the now. I am just being one with the flow, with the Tao, with the primordial reality, and it's resisting nothing. Because when you are just so present and you're just so grounded and there's no rush to say anything, you're not trying to talk fast in a conversation as if time is running out and you have to get out what you want to say. Or you're not trying to eat so fast, faster than your digestive system can handle, It was so, I don't like to say programmed, but we're so adapted to move so fast. But when I've started to just do things slowly, I just feel like there's no resistance in my mind, or at least, there is less resistance in my mind. I'm able to breathe. That is always the most important thing, breathing. You only need to breathe to manifest your desires. Using your breath as your anchor point is the best technique into being at the present moment, because then you're regulating your nervous system. Being calm and tranquil is so much better than being way too happy or way too sad. It's that neutrality, that balance, 0 point. And I do believe that it's from that state of mind, being in that flow where all desires, whether they are here or not, there's like less attachment. And then it does eventually reflect through into your reality and etc. And yeah, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but it's something that I definitely resonate with, and I definitely encourage that if you are struggling to remind yourself to be in the present moment, then maybe try and adopt a practice where you are doing things a bit more slowly. And I understand it may seem hard for a lot of people, especially when there's so many responsibilities and worries and stress out there in this, I wouldn't say even in the corporate world, but just in general, you know, that survival mode that some of us may have. And I am not trying to be oblivious or ignorant to the existence of those, but I do encourage to try and look into your lifestyle, your habits, your routines, your disciplines. What is stressing you? What could you benefit from? Because honestly, I'm starting to believe, and I will be practicing this a lot more, when living a slow life, or at least taking the day to live a slow life, what do I need a break or relaxation from? Usually when we're working so hard, we burn out and we get tired, it's because we've exasperated all this energy. But what if you systematically, or what if you selectively, is there a better word? What if you rationed your amount of energy and balanced it throughout the day? So you wake up, you know how much energy you've got for the day. Instead of living such a busy, hectic, fast life in the morning and being burnt out by the afternoon, what if you dropped a bit of your energy day by day, time by time, hour by hour throughout your day in this like calm flow state? Would you really be so tired that you crave a holiday or a relaxation spa break or whatever? Or would you just feel contentment in the now, so that when you go to bed, you just feel like you've done all your responsibilities for the day. The world isn't ending if you hadn't completed everything. There's another day tomorrow. We should be grateful for that, but contentment. And it's not that you do all these things and then feel contentment before you go to bed. It's knowing that you felt it throughout the day, and going to bed, it makes it no difference, but it allows you to just reflect and feel whatever it is you feel from your day. That is the kind of lifestyle I have experienced. Maintaining it is another thing. Into everyone's individual lives, it's completely different. We all have different jobs, financial backgrounds, health backgrounds, etc. But I do believe if we try to integrate this, being more present, as a way of being more present, that is the ultimate goal. It's like, I don't know if I've mentioned this in a previous video, but when you're in the present moment, it's not just you having harmony with yourself. It's you having harmony with the people around you. Conversations aren't so fast. You're actually listening to other people. You're taking in what they're saying. You're being present for them as well. And they can feel that energy, and it just harmonizes some bonds and relationships, etc. Or when you're slow eating and you're eating slowly, it's like, I don't know, you feel the nourishment a bit more, or maybe it's just in my head. But also another thing I've noticed as well is when you're listening to music, how many times have you like rewinded like a bit of your, like the favorite part of your song because you felt like you didn't appreciate it enough, like, and you didn't hear it. And so you keep rewinding it, keep trying to capture that moment, but you're just struggling to be in the present moment because you don't realize you're not in the present moment. And so you're not hearing the music. And it's that mentality. So now when I listen to music, I'm actually hearing it as it is and enjoying it. When I'm watching a film or a TV show, when I'm speaking to someone, when I'm drinking, when I'm eating, when I'm reading, when I'm recording a video like right now. It's very different. It's very peaceful. Is it maintainable? I think that is where discipline comes in. But it's always the effort of trying. I think it's a state that we would rather be in than to not be in. That being said, sometimes stress is good. It can help motivate and propel you to get things done. There's a balance to it, but I am leaning more towards a slow life. I think life is too short, and you want to savor it as much as possible. You don't want it to flash before your eyes and think you were too busy doing things but not actually living. I could say a lot about this topic. But yeah, let me know what you all think about living the slow life. I hope this video was helpful, and I want to end it with my disclaimer that I am by no means claiming to be knowledgeable in everything, except that I am in the humble pursuit of wisdom. This topic for this video is heavily influenced by Taoism and by the philosophy of Alan Watts, and just being in that Zen mode. I don't necessarily agree with it being so that you're not caring about anything. I think it's a nice balance. You don't want to be so detached and careless that you are not fulfilling responsibilities. But I think once you meet that neutral point in your own individual life, you hit that right spot of just of attachment healthily, in attuned to your authenticity. That is when you find your own flow in your own frequency. You just need to tune in and find that right frequency for you. But yeah, if you'd like to work with me, all my links are in my description. And if you have any topics or questions that you'd like me to discuss about, then please feel free to add them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.